All right, we're here. Wednesday, March 4th. We were just saying we're having a cold spell in Alaska, a little bit of talk about snow, but it's March. It's time for spring to be coming soon. So, welcome to class. If you're just jumping back in with us, I'm going to share the link to this slideshow and also where you can go to access all of them. I'm putting all of our slideshows in one folder now so that folks can refer back to them and keep up. But I'll drop this in the chat. And Shirley and I, we want to announce to you that next week there's no class. So the March 11th, we won't have class because that's our spring break. And our next time being together will be the week after that on Wednesday, March 18th. So don't show up next week. You'll be all alone. And then today we're going to do a short review exercise of 3 phrases we've been working on in this class. And then we want to talk about Dr. Walter Sobolev Kajakte. After we share some background information on him, we're going to do a group reading, so kind of reading together in class. I'll put it up on the screen. But he wrote this really impactful article on Tlingit protocols that just have a lot of knowledge in them. It's pretty long. I think it's 6 pages long, and we're not going to rush through it. There's a lot to take out of it, including Tlingit vocabulary words. So we'll just be going as far as we can today, but this might be a continued reading and continued discussion through our next few classes. So let's take a look at our review. This is a phrase we've been working on the last couple of classes, and it's I will see you again. It's something that you say when you're parting ways. It's not really a goodbye, but just saying that you'll see them again. And the first 2 words repeat after me. Tsuye.
Suye.
Yay.
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 Good job. And the second half, ikwasatin.
Kwasatin.
Good job. I will see you again. So the whole phrase, repeat after me. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Yay.
Kwasatin.
Kwasatin.
Good job.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Really nice, you guys. Gentle reminder, this in ikwasatin is saying you. So I will see you again. So just a reminder, that's where that goes in the sentence. I will see you again. Another one we worked on is a phrase of encouragement for somebody. If you're talking to one person, you want to encourage them. For example, saying have strength and courage. You would say, repeat after me. Iko ayach kwan. Good job. And again, Iko ayach kwan.
One.
Good job. So again, we see this letter I for you. We're talking to one person. If we want to say it to multiple people, the changes to ye. So repeat after me. Yi ko ayach kwan.
Kwan.
Good. That's for more than one person. Shirley, did you have any feedback?
No, that sounds good.
Awesome. Good job, you guys. So one more time, we'll say them again, and then I have a fill in the blank exercise for you and see if we can spell them from memory, at least parts of it. So repeat after me. I will see you again. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Kwasatin.
Iko ayach kwan.
Kwan.
Good. Good. It's for one person. If you're talking to more than one person, Yigoayakwan.
Yiguayakwan.
Guayakwan.
Good job. So, if we're filling in the blanks, we have this phrase, I will see you again. And what are we missing here? We have tsuye. Say,
Classic.
uh-huh. So go ahead and say the whole phrase.
Tsuye
Classic.
Good job. So what's this first letter after tsuye that's needed?
I.
Good job. I. And then we have ikwasat. And then what?
2 E's.
Good job. And repeat after me one more time. I will see you again. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Tsuye
Guayasatin. Guayasatin.
Good job. Next one, have strength and courage. How do you say this?
Yiguayakwan.
Guayakwan.
Good. So we have igu, and then what letters go next?
2 A's.
That's right. One more time, repeat after me. Iguayakwan.
Yiguayakwan.
Guayakwan.
Awesome. And last one, if you're saying this phrase to more than one person, how does the phrase go?
Yiguayakwan.
Guayakwan.
Good job. So we have yigoa, and then what comes next?
Yak. So that's YAX.
Yep. Y, A, underline X. And one more time, repeat after me. Yigoayakwan.
Yiguayakwan.
Guayakwan.
Good job. Any questions on those?
Just a remark from me. I find it hard to transition from the underlined X to the normal X.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in the back and then it goes further to the front, and I find that difficult to pronounce, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Definitely
It's
takes
the,
go ahead.
the pause that I have a hard time with.
In between the X's.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to keep going.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's a little pause there that gives you time to transition from the back of your throat and the yach to the top of your mouth with the kwan.
It's because you have two X's to deal with.
Yeah.
Just remember when you see an X without any marking, it's not like a regular English X. Doesn't have any, we don't have an X like that.
That's a good point. Yeah. Sometimes people, if they're just starting to learn to read Lingit, they might say yucks for yach. But you guys sound good. Tiny bit more pronunciation. So this underline K with a W that we see in tsuye ik kwasatin. We have an underline K W. That can show up in different ways. It can come at the beginning of a word, such as this word kwan, which is how you refer to people of a traditional territory. But let's practice this word. Repeat after me. Kwan.
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 Good. So yeah, it's underlined, so it's at the back of your throat and then rounded. That sound can also come at the end of a word, such as in the word for octopus. And what you do is just round your lips while you're breathing out that underlined K sound, and it'll make a unique sound. But repeat after me. Na.
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 Good. You sound good. And do you guys know any other words that have this underlined KW in it? Anything you've seen before?
I know that I do. I just can't think of them.
Uh-huh.
I think it's like strawberries or
Mm-hmm.
Aku. Aku.
Uh-huh. So this was. Are you talking about this word?
Oh yeah, that word too. I was thinking of blueberries. Kaku.
Oh,
Is that right?
well,
Oh no, that's an apostrophe loaded KW, isn't it?
blueberries. We have kaku is basket. Let me look
I think
really
of it as
quick.
shaku, which is strawberry.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's, you
Mine.
didn't say coup afterwards.
Shaku.
Yeah,
good.
that's
These are all really close. None of them quite have the underline K, but it's good.
there's
Um,
there's a one for winter for the whole year.
anybody know
Top.
taku?
There is a
Awesome.
verb I remember, but I don't know what it means anymore. And I'm feeling bad that I don't remember, but Yannick,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
this is not an underlined K though, it's a regular K. But
not that one again.
it does have the W. And
Oh, being sick, yeah, that's what it was.
Wow, you guys have a lot of good words in your memory bank. Awesome. Yeah, really similar sounds. For little lake is underline, I mean, not underline, but K pinch W. So a little bit different sound, but you're still rounding a K. And then basket, kaku. Similar, but not the underline KW. Shaku, strawberries. Taku, winter. Yaniku, he is sick. I'm glad you have these in your memory. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and transition us to our group reading. This is an article called Lingit Protocols. A little bit about this reading. First of all, the author is Kaja Kuti. Oh, this has an underlined KW in it. And this is the Tlingit name of Dr. Walter Sobolov. But let's practice his name. The first letters are underline K, A, A. Repeat after me. Ka.
Ka.
Oh,
Good. The next letters are J, A, A, underline K, W. Repeat after me. Jak.
Jak.
Yeah,
Good. And the last letters are T, high tone I, T.
Te.
eh.
So I'll put them together nice and slow. Repeat after me. Ka, jak, T.
Ka. Jak.
or
Te.
T.
Uh-huh. And one more time. Ka, jak, T.
Ka.
Jak.
Or
Te.
T.
Good. Walter Sobolov, he was Tsinedi. That was his clan. He lived from 1908 to 2011. He was born in Killisnoo, raised in Tiniki, and he had a whole list of leadership roles. He seemed to have made a lot of giant contributions to society in his life. So he was a leader in the Northern Lights Presbyterian Church, also for Kutsnuwu Incorporated. He was a leader in the Alaska Native Brotherhood. He worked for the state of Alaska and also the Alaska Heritage Institute. And we have a couple articles that I've included in the slides for folks to check out. But I thought these are really nicely done articles just talking about his life. He was just a major contributor and leader to society in his life. And Shirley actually she remembers him. And Shirley, did you want to share?
yeah, Teneke is like right around the corner from Huna. So when we were out in our boat, my dad was very, very interested in him because he went to college. And so that was a real unusual event for a Tlingit. So he was really, really impressed. So we used to stop in Teneke and visit his mother in at that time, Teneke was like a one street with a few houses. But we would go there and visit with his mother to see how he was doing. And she would tell us stories that he wrote home about when he was in college. He went to college in Iowa. And so he said that every now and then he would lock himself in his bedroom and walk back and forth and talk Tlingit to himself because he didn't want to forget. And it's easy to forget because you have everybody speaking to you in English, and you don't have anyone to carry a conversation on with. It's really easy to do. So um, we got into the habit of just going to Teneke. I never really saw him, not until I was a teenager when he was already a minister in Juneau with his wife. But in looking into his background for this class, we found out that he spent 4 years in University of Fairbanks, and he started this native studies there. And so that was a really wonderful thing to do that still, I think it still exists there. So that I did talk to him when he was 102, very active and very verbal. We sat and talked, and it was a lot of fun. Uh, he has a real good sense of humor. It was wonderful. So I was blessed that way. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. When you say he was verbal, is it that he would speak up for things that needed to be changed or speak up for things that he knew his values?
Yeah, and also you can have a discussion with him on almost anything. Yeah, so we were uh, we were talking about at that time uh, there was the fear of a volcano here, and so my students were busy asking me about what's the Tlingit word for a volcano, and, and there was none in the dictionary. So uh, I talked to him about it, and he laughed. He said he doesn't know. The only people that would have a word for volcano was in Sitka because there was a volcano across the bay from there. So we both didn't know uh, it, the Tlingit word because it wasn't really common. Uh,
So cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. It's fun to hear about his personality. So, for folks who want to read the article, I'm going to share the link with you. But what I'll do is put this up on our screen so that, well, I guess you actually have it so that we can read together. So, if you have the slideshow, add this in the chat just in case. Can't remember if oh yeah, I put these on with you already. Yeah, so you guys have the link to the slideshow. I'll put it in the chat again in case you came in after that. But I'm going to put this up on the screen and we'll just kind of go take turns reading. I'll just let people pick who wants to read next. I'll read the first one. But I want you guys to feel comfortable sharing your thoughts if things really strike home with you or make you wonder things. We want to have an open discussion kind of as we read. So this article is called Lingit Protocols, Forming a Lingit Worldview by Kaja Kuti, Dr. Walter Soboleff. And the first paragraph says, respect is at the heart of Lingit protocol. Well-defined codes of Lingit ceremonial protocols and practices are dictated by ancient customs, traditions, and oral tradition. These protocols have historically been taught by Lingit parents, elders, uncles, grandparents, and clan leaders. Who would like to read next?
I will. As they entered their teenage years, brothers and sisters were separated and were not allowed to see or speak to one another. They were assigned their own teachers. These educators were almost always close relatives.
Nice, thank you. Anyone want to read next?
Lingit people were taught to speak with sensitivity. Thoughtless and careless use of words will harm the unity of the family, clan, and can harm other relationships. Words are powerful. They can cause trouble and unrest. The expression used to describe this concept is shakaksadat hundat, which means to weigh your words with care. A Tlingit clan is required to pay damages to others for verbal and or other errors of its clan members.
Nice, thank you, and good job with that term. Shkadat hundred.
I want to mention that protocol was very, very important, and I observed it all my life. It wasn't introduced by people that made contact with us. So they always used it with each other to the point where a chief was chosen to be the speaker to welcome people from another village. And he goes down the list, the chief speaker goes down the list as to who to call, whose name to call. We say somebody's name and they say, Awe, and that means I hear you. And so then he gets to the point where he's not really that familiar. In that case, he has a genealogist standing behind him. And as he speaks and he wants to make sure that he gets everybody in the right spot, and a genealogist feeds him the names of who to call on, and it's kind of a memory check. So then when that's all done and he's honored everybody, then the genealogist can just sit down. But so it is protocol is something that we have always observed, whoever the speaker is.
Thank you for explaining that. One of the things I was wondering about was here at the bottom where it says, Tlingit people are taught to speak with sensitivity, as thoughtless and careless use of words will harm the unity of the family and can harm relationships. A Tlingit clan is required to pay damages to others for verbal or other errors of its clan members. So would this be something that might happen in a ceremony if for example, if I'm in one and I misstep or if I misquote somebody, would that be an example of that?
Or say the name wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I have observed uh, an insult from an individual that something happened to my brother, and it was in the village, and he was hurt by the comment or what was said, and the person that did it had to get relatives and friends together, and they arrived at our house with a gift.
Mm.
Uh, the gift was like a shirt or a jacket or a sweater or something.
Mm-hmm.
They apologize and present the gift.
Mm.
So that's how important it was.
Mm. I love that habit of making amends. And so thank you for sharing that. Okay. Any other thoughts or comments on those few paragraphs?
What was that crooked word in this paragraph?
It's a phrase that means to weigh your words with care, and it says shkadat hundat. I've never heard it before, and I have
I
yeah.
think I've heard it talked about, but I don't think it was used that commonly.
Mm-hmm. I I haven't been able to find it in the books, and I'm kind of wondering if this X needs to be underlined, if it's related to like things you say or your mouth. But it's totally new to me. But I'll keep looking around. Okay, I'll read this next paragraph and then I'll let someone else go. When a chak speaks to a yesh, the dialogue should always begin cha ka brother. A chak is a member of the eagle mighty, yesh is raven. The term cha is used when addressing your wife's brother. So let's practice these words. Eagle, repeat after me. Chak.
Ah,
Uh,
Mm-hmm. And then raven. Yesh.
Yuck.
yeah,
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Try that one again.
Yesh.
Yuck.
yeah.
yes.
How do we sound, Shirley?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So who would like to read next?
I can read.
Thank you.
Uh, are we just in the Klauk area?
Uh-huh.
Did we do that one? Okay. Yeah. In the Klauk area, cha refers to one's brother-in-law. In many areas, however, cha is a term only used for one's wife's brothers. The salutation is used as a special term of endearment.
Nice. Thank you. And who wants to read this next one?
Yeah, I can go.
Thank you.
When a Ag woman speaks to a Yesh woman, the latter person must be addressed with the proper kin relationship. These terms may include aunt, At, my father's sister, Ish, and other terms. Yesh women must speak to Ag females in the same manner.
Nice. So let's practice these ones. You said them beautifully. My aunt, this X should be underlined, but you said it correct. Repeat after me. At.
Ach,
At,
And this is specific to your aunt on your dad's side. So that makes sense that it would be your opposite. My father's my father, repeat after me, ach ish.
Ach, yeesh.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Who wants to read next?
I'll read again. When
Thank
a Yaith man is speaking seriously to a clan brother, it is proper to address the clan brother using the following phrase. I can hardly even read that.
Anach yakawu.
Thank you. I couldn't make out the third word.
Yeah.
Anayakawa.
Uh-huh.
This means my respected and worthy brother and will properly convey the gravity of the message. Northern Tlingit use this term for those adopted as clan brothers and for Tlinkits of the interior.
Nice. Adopted as clan brothers. My respected and worthy brother. So let's practice this one. Repeat after me. Anach yakawu.
Anayakawa.
Yakawu.
Oh,
Good.
It's the first time I see an underlined N.
Yeah, I think this might have just been when someone was trying to translate for him or write down, they might have put it here instead of under the X. But that's okay. But yeah, any questions or comments about these? Talking to your opposites, talking to your wife's brother.
That was good observation to see a letter that was underlined there. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Good job. Okay, I'll read the
That
next. Uh-huh.
that's a term that I haven't heard in years because the language is changing so much that those terms for endearment has really changed. So might make note of that. That anakekao is a term that I personally have not heard in a long time.
Mm. Would a woman use this term as well, or just men?
I've only heard men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense because it says when a Yesh man is speaking seriously to a clan brother,
Yeah.
and it will properly convey the gravity of the message. So it sounds really specific, and I've never heard it before, but I'm happy to be learning it. The next line says, Tlingit women from the same clan may address each other informally as Anachshawat, my tribal or clan sister. Who wants to read next?
go again.
Okay.
A clan brother-in-law is usually chosen as the facilitator or moderator of the host clan during potlatches and other Tlingit ceremonies. He is una take nayi, as are the guests. This person is specifically chosen for his relationship with his relatives by marriage. They can take the liberty of joking with him.
Nice. So that phrase, you guys can all go ahead and repeat after me. Konate kanayi.
Goodnight.
Like,
Innate.
nayi.
Yeah. In the transcription, it says literal translation needed, but possibly an assistant from the opposite clan. Shirley, do you remember hearing that phrase? Konate kanayi.
I think I heard my mom use that phrase in talking about somebody. Innate, to me, that means not your own clan, but uh, another clan.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, I'm learning so much from this.
So, and it says opposite clan, does that refer to raven and eagle? Or is that not a clan? I'm confused.
It's referring to the clans or relationships.
Yeah. So the raven and eagle are moieties, but each clan will be either raven or eagle. So when people say the opposite clan, they're talking about a clan that is opposite of your moiety.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Kunalchish.
These phrases are really old style terminology,
Mm.
and I'm not really certain that the new speakers are aware and can use it properly. And there was a lot of opportunities, to use it in those days when I was growing up, because of all the parties or all the get-togethers we had. Uh, the honorable system was switched over to the A and B, ANS, the protocol. Uh, People think that uh, we got all this system from Robert's rules,
Mm-hmm.
but the truth is, when we heard about Robert's rules, it was really adopted very fast because it shows the same respect that we have for each other. So the
Um,
protocol was brought into the A and B ANS, not given to the Clinkets by A and B ANS.
mm,
It was ours to begin with.
hmm. Have you guys all heard of Robert's Rules of Order? You know what she's talking about? Okay, most people, yes. Uh, if you haven't heard of it before, it's a system basically that's used for maintaining order in a meeting. And I guess the way I would sort of summarize it is a very systematic, clear way to make sure that everyone can be heard before making like a group decision. Shirley, does that sound kind of right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
give opportunity to speak and they allow you to say what you want to say.
nice. So, yeah, when Shirley's talking about it being switched to a new system, it's kind of like Tlingit people already had a protocol for making sure everyone's heard and respected. But when colonial contact happened, this rule for like Robert's Rules of Order, that was adopted by the A and B, the Alaska Native Brotherhood and Alaska Native Sisterhood, and they used it to make positive political change and social change. And so that's kind of what one of my Tlingit friends joked that Tlingit people are just experts on Robert's Rules of Order because it gets used all the time.
Yeah, because it fits into our way of thinking. I think that was the big thing. We used the same protocol always. When I was growing up, that's what I've always heard being used. So they were happy to find Robert's rules because it really fit in.
Mm, that's incredible. Okay, we have 15 minutes left. Shirley, I think I'll finish this page and then we can see where we're at. But who wants to read this last paragraph of page 2?
I can read again.
Thank you.
So, when a Tlingit clan member dies, the bereaved clan requests members of an opposite clan, and I need help there. So it's
Qonate Kanai.
Unait Kanai
Mhm.
to assist them with all arrangements and memorials. Specific protocol is observed in the execution of a Tlingit estate. Lingit law requires that a male's estate and ceremonial regalia be inherited by clan relatives rather than his children, who are of the opposite clan. A wife's estate is inherited by her children, who are of her own clan. This includes ceremonial regalia.
Nice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys heard a Tlingit term before to describe things that are owned by someone? What is that term?
I've heard it. I can't remember it, but I've heard.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Ooh. And it just means things that are owned.
Yeah, my dad died in 1958.
Hmm.
So that wasn't, not long ago. And uh, when he was really sick, he he got moved into the front room, and an area was made for him uh, to be and people visiting. Uh, and he had a cot that folded, and he insisted that's what he wanted to be on. And my brother was very hurt because he wanted to have a nice bed for my dad. So he was sick for quite a while, and people visited him to the point where he couldn't eat. I think he had cancer, but in those days we didn't know. Then he died, and they took my mother out of the house to stay with his sister because my mother had to be cared for by an opposite clan,
Oh,
was his sister.
huh.
And I went along with her, and because I didn't want her to be alone. And after they took her out, uh, ladies came to the house and packed away everything or destroyed things that he used and scrubbed. They scrubbed after they took everything apart and the bed was taken out like he knew it was going to be burned. The blankets and the bedding, mattress and everything had to be burned. And they scrubbed down that whole area where he died. Uh, the walls and the floor, everything had to be rearranged while his body was being prepared. So in the burning of his uh, bedding and stuff that he used, I had to be involved because I was the opposite clan.
Oh.
It's kind of hard on me, but
Mm.
we had to uh, take care of that and not destroy it. He knew that was what was going to happen, and that's why he really resisted. sleeping in a good bed while he was sick. Oh, that wasn't that long ago where, you know, they did so much work after my dad died, but I don't think they do that anymore.
Hmm.
That was in 1958.
Hmm. And so at least your mom got to stay with her opposites during that time.
Uh, yeah, they then when they were finished, they brought her back and dressed her in the black coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a careful and meticulous way to handle it when someone passes on. It kind of seems to me like then your opposites are sort of taking care of you during that time because you're grieving.
Yeah, yeah, and all the people that uh, are asked to participate, then that's taken care of. Not they're not paid until the next year, usually, and sometimes even up to 2 years. Uh, if the family has something to deal with. Um, so you're paid money, or you're paid with food, or you're paid with other things at a party. So,
Yeah, we have a similar practice in my dad's culture. But when it comes to Tlingit way of handling these things, I've heard of a 40-day party and a potlatch and a payoff party.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we have 40 days, but my dad didn't want that.
Did he say why?
Yeah, because in the Bible it says only Jesus needed 40 days because he had a lot of work to do. When you die, you don't have anything to do, just go.
Uh-huh. I did see that reference in the Bible about 40 days, and I wondered if it was related.
Yeah, they took it to mean that it's a pattern that Jesus gave, that you just kind of hang around for 40 days before you go.
Mm.
But my dad didn't believe that you don't have 40 days. Christ had a lot of work to do. That's why he took 40 days. You
Oh.
don't have anything to do.
Uh-huh. So just let me go.
Just go.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could have met your dad. Um, I think I'll end our reading there since we only just have a few minutes left of class. But did you guys have any overall thoughts or questions about what we read today?
Or talked about.
Yeah.
If you've heard uh, any kind of articles or information about Dr. Sobola, well, give you time to share. Did we finish the whole page?
We finished the first 2 pages.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So we'll keep plugging away at it. I guess the biggest thing on my mind is like, how do these protocols affect me as a teacher? Because when I teach, my classes are recorded, they're put online. And I guess the biggest one on my mind is misstepping and misspeaking. If I make a mistake or I misquote somebody, how do I pay for that? And um, what kind of protocols can I follow to not offend people? I think I'm pretty careful with my words, but I don't know.
I just,
I had that. Sorry,
I was just
I
going to
had.
start off by apologizing. If I made any mistakes, I apologize.
Oh,
Sorry.
I think everyone's good. I think you're both fine.
yeah.
I can't say I've ever been offended myself, so I think you guys are both good.
Yeah. I guess for me, it more comes from like if I share a story, a traditional story that belongs to a clan, I default to the ones that are published in the Dowenhowers that people have consented to share with everyone. But yeah. Khuni Hande Ijin, did you have a question or comment?
Just a comment. I had that thought when we read the first one, I think it was, where it said that if you speak the wrong words, then it's considered offensive. And I was just wondering which words that would be, and which we spoke about pronouncing names, and how does that affect me as a learner of the language who is going to mispronounce things? So is it going to be considered as um, well, doing something wrong? I have to be more careful. I just don't want to make the mistakes that were not intentional, so to speak.
Shirley might have thoughts on this. Shirley, did you want to share?
The only thing I can think of is, um, like I mentioned before, the genealogist helps out by telling you who's next, or if you get that person in the wrong level or the wrong place. And uh, after finishing the whole process, you can say, I want to apologize if I made any mistakes, and uh, don't really have to say that, but if you think you did, you say, I'm a new study. I'm working hard on it, so forgive me if I made any mistakes.
Yeah, and
Or you can say it at the beginning of the next time.
thank you for sharing that, Shirley. The thing that was taught to me when I started out too was that there's general grace for students, your learners, and you're probably not going to be in a situation where you're hosting a clique or a potlatch, so you'll
Yeah.
be kind of protected from that, but just something to think about, like as you're learning, maybe pay attention to what clan people are and stuff, and try
Mm.
to pick up as you go, maybe.
Actually, we did actually enact that rule in our Tlingit class this semester. We had to, but it was a very obvious offense that was done in English. Someone decided that it would be funny, a non-Tlingit person, for what it's worth, that it would be funny to call a Tlingit person the N-word. It did get escalated to the university level. That's obviously a problem.
Mm.
um across the board. So, but someone did actually pull up that rule when she was arguing about why it was funny. um
Mm.
and I mean, I don't think it's funny. I'm just laughing because I still can't believe she's never apologized for it and still thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, so it's been used before, but that was a really obvious one. And she's also done that within the Haida culture by asking me how to say inappropriate things in Haida and calling people bad things in Haida. And I'm like, we don't do that in Haida culture either. We have the same type of rules about showing
Mm.
respect to one another. We don't have a disrespectful you, for example. We wouldn't
Mm.
we wouldn't say that to another person.
Nice.
But yeah, so that rule is still useful.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you guys handled it with care.
I can share something really quick that it happened to me in English about 25 years ago. I was on a flight from Detroit to Seattle, and I was sitting next to two retired women teachers by profession. And when I told people that story, I said I was sitting next to two retarded teachers. So I was
Oh.
saying something offensive, but I didn't mean to. I just messed up the two words because
Mm-hmm.
they sound similar to someone who doesn't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think every learner of any language has that at some point in their language learning journey, that you say something that sounds similar, but it means something totally different, and it gets you in a weird situation. So yeah, I never meant any offense there. And people corrected me. They were like, it's not very nice of you to call them that. And I said, yeah, but they said they retarded 7 years ago, and then it became obvious what I really meant. I
Uh-huh.
was corrected, and I'll never say it wrong again. But
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah. They're such similar words.
That's really strange, but I can see that would be a problem. So I think it's
I think he's still trying to get
I
on.
don't know how we can be aware of all of these things, but like we said, just apologize and say I wasn't aware.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome, you guys. Good discussion. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. We're at time, so I'm going to let you go. And remember, no class next week since it's spring break, but we'll see you the following week on March 18th. God noches, Johan.
Yeah, you guys get time off because it's my birthday.
Yeah. Happy early birthday.
Yay!
Happy early birthday. 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it because it's considered bad luck in my culture if you say it before the birthday. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say it afterwards. But
Oh. Thanks for telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take back my early birthday comment.
me too.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah.
All right, you guys, have an awesome week. We'll see you on March 18th.
Good
Finish
Geez,
Okay.
Yay, Class 18.
Ah,
Okay,
Hati.
quasatin.
Ah.